Hey there, I'm back again like I never left, and this is every NG where we give you all the latest gist on everything that is happening in Nigeria and around the world. Of course, my name is Judith, and if you guessed that I'm bringing you more Bbnaija highlights gist, then you guessed right because that is exactly why I'm here. So remember that yesterday we ended up with Brighto and Neo's strike, their audio infringement. Now let's go into day 3. And of course we started off with some workouts. The housemates have to get in some level of physical exercise in every morning according to Biggie. So, they all went out feeling cool, feeling yuppie, having fun. The main work had not started yet. They were still chilling. So they had their workouts routine. And of course the guys in the house that were very into the workouts, praise Eric, Prince, the hunks in the house. People like Brighto cannot kill themselves. We're just in one corner there. But anyway, after the workout, we had Erica ask Prince for a massage. I'm like, okay. This beginning time, we're not sure who we're shipping. So if we see Erica and Eric, we'll be like, okay, this is the ship. But then again, we see Erica and Tricky, we'll be like, is this the new ship? And then there's Erica and Prince. So people were kind of confused as to what exactly was going on. But it turned out that it was just an ordinary ask, nothing serious, no underlying issues. Like nobody's asking for a massage, but deep down you're like, I'm shooting my shot at this person. So yeah, Prince gave her the massage. It looks really cool, and they went back to the conversation of the weird things you've done for love. And this time around, Katrina was talking to the housemates, and she's like, well, the weird thing I've done for love is I pay for younger guys. Like the younger guys that I've dated, I pay for their bills. People are like, boss lady, is that you? Is that you? Are you the one talking? But that wasn't even all Katrina said. She also spoke about her husband. Now remember that she told Brighto that they were separated the day before. And she says, look, I've never been in love. Like she said, I'm putting it out there, I've never been in love. But I respect my husband because he has been there for me. He has helped me through my life. Like he was there when I was struggling. I owe him a lot. So she actually said that. And of course, people outside were like, hey, you marry somebody you don't love, yada, yada, yada. But boss lady's like, that one's for your pocket. I said what I said. So yeah, she said she's not one to fall in love with people. Who else said that? Prince, remember. Anyway, so after that situation, Big Brother decided to give them a task. Like, you're getting too jobless. Let me do something here. So he gave them a task to make nose masks, face masks, I beg your pardon, and sanitizers. And of course, the housemates got busy. They were feeling very diligent. They thought that was the main task of the season. You see people with their Ankara masks. You see Neo, and that was when Neo and Ozo's relationship started. They started bonding little by little there. So yeah, housemates got through with that task. It was kind of seamless for most people. Now, let me tell you something. This diary session was the one that shocked me the most. It shocked me because they had just spent 3 days in the house, and because there are 20 housemates, most of the diary sessions can't fit into one day. So the people that made it to the second day that were very notable in their conversation with Big Brother, number one, Kaisha. Kaisha came into the diary room and she was talking to Biggie and she started crying. I'm like, sis, what's going on? Why are you crying? And she's like, oh my God, people here are so fake. Today they are nice to you, tomorrow they are not. I'm like, all 20 people cannot be nice to you. But I guess she was just overwhelmed with a lot of things. And, she wasn't really sure what to expect from who. But Aisha was really emotional. And it came as a surprise to most people because it's like, you spent only 3 days in the house. Why are you getting emotional for people that you barely know? But anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's also talk about the fact that Dorothy Patrol came into Big Brother's house to ask for a washing machine. As who? Princess of what? And like, go and wash your clothes with your hand, Joe. But yeah, she asked for that. And she's like, Biggie, I really need a washing machine. Big Brother was like, well, since you say that you're liked by most housemates, maybe you should ask them to wash for you. Ella. But yeah, Biggie said that Dorothy was really, and it was something that really bothered her because she's not used to, that kind of tedious job, washing my clothes with my hands, coming from a jebol life. So when she asked Biggie and he gave her a laugh, she couldn't believe it just yet. She was smiling, but it dawned on her weeks later that, look, you're gonna have to be washing yourself. So yeah, she made that request, and that was it on the diary sessions. Now, Katrina again in the news. So Katrina's boss lady, initially the housemates were happy because she would willingly cook for them, clean the kitchen, but then they started noticing little things here and there. And then this particular situation with Tochi was just it. This was when people were like, what's going on? What's this bossy attitude that you're putting up. So, how it happened was Katrina cooked and she did not dish for Tochi. As in, you didn't give Tochi food. Wow! So Tochi was like, yo, why didn't you give me food? She's like, you weren't there when I was dishing. Problem. And then Tochi got upset, of course, because it's like, what's that supposed to mean? And then that was when the issue, the whole bossy, Katrina, you're bossy, and then she now turned it into boss lady. That was when it started. People were really upset because they felt it was uncalled for. That he wasn't there when you dish the food doesn't mean he shouldn't get food. He's a housemate as well. But anyway, that one passed. Now, let's talk about the love affairs in the house. Remember that Lilo and Eric, from day one, started from the bottom till the end. They were together and it kind of spiraled out of control for most people, but it was going a bit too fast. Now, Lilo and Eric agreed that they were going to be themselves. Like, they were talking, their whole relationship situation. So they were like, let's forget about the cameras and the microphones. Let's just be ourselves. I'm like, duh. Is this not what we're watching you? Is that not why we're watching you? So they decided to just get rid of all the things at the back of their mind, saying, look, people are watching us, people are listening to us, and just enjoy the flow, enjoy the show, and just have fun. And that was good advice to themselves, because if you're so conscious of the camera and the microphone, you will not enjoy your stay. Okay, so still on love affairs, Eric asked Lekon for advice. I know how it's sounding because Lekon was giving love advice. He didn't know how it was going to end up, so let's not judge him. So yeah, Eric was confiding in Lekon, like, look, this thing with Lilo is going a little bit too fast, and Lekon just told him, just chill, guy, like, you'll be fine. It's not anything serious. I mean, you're just here for 72 days, hopefully, so don't work yourself up over anything. Like, just enjoy your ride. Now, Tochi, who did not get food earlier on, decided, let me go and talk about love to Brighto. Now, remember that initially, Brighto and Tolani Badge were close, and that's because they explained it later on that they knew themselves from outside the house. So, Brighto and Tolani Badge were kind of comfortable with themselves already, so it was just natural that their conversations would be a little bit, more, how do I explain, friendly, for lack of better explanation. So, Tochi was like, I don't know. Let me go and ask Brighto, small and see what's going on. So he asked Brighto if he was involved with Tolani Badge. But Brighto was like, I beg go, see my hand. I'm not interested in any love situation. I'm just friends with her. She's friends with me. Nothing more than that. What I'm about to tell you next, don't judge Tochi. It was beginning now. We're all for me. So Tochi had an American accent. Who else noticed? Because I can't be the only one. Tochi had a little bit of an American accent. And then he was talking to Brighto and he was like, oh, people assume that I'm dating. I'm like, what? You are what? But that wasn't even the cocoa. That was not the main problem. After his American accent, he now said, and they believe I'm too pride. What do you mean by that? What do you mean you're too pride? How do you go from American accents to Bo? That doesn't work, sir. So yeah, that was really hilarious. People made fun of the situation, but it died down really quickly, as with most things in the Bbnaija house. So that was Tochi. But do you know that Tochi was actually being very strategic? Because if you remember, later on in the show, he actually had feelings for T-Badge, and he was just asking Brighto just to lay foundation for how he's going to come in. You gotta think. So yeah, after that situation, Kaisha was talking to Praise. Now, I was like, okay, why are you telling Praise this? Do you like him, or is just a regular conversation? So she was telling Praise about her life and how, if you had asked her some 5 years ago, before she even thought of coming into the Bbnaija house, if she was going to get married, she'd be like, I beg, no, what's that? What's marriage? But now she has actually reconsidered that decision and she's willing to get married. However, she needs to give it like a year or so before she gets involved with any man. So this is just a warning to you, Kaisha, if you're watching this. Let me not see you with Manu. Year has not expired. You left when? You left just late last year. So you need to give us, a couple more months, say 6-7 months before we see you with any man. And the fact that she was so particular about giving herself space before being with anybody has made me even more curious as to who she is going to be with. So I'm on the watch out for that one, and I will give you updates as usual. So yeah, she said she wants to give herself 1 year. She don't want to rush into anything. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's really cool. So yeah, that was basically how episode 3 ended. Just talking and getting to know themselves as usual. Now, thank you so much for joining me on this episode, on giving you these highlights today. I hope you had fun, because I have fun giving you this gist. So yeah, this is brought to you by Every NG, and until next time, my name is Judith. Bye.